Thank you so much for joining us for Good Day Atlanta. Sherry is coming up next.
And of course, stay connected to us on fox5atlanta.com, Fox Local, and also listen in on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network at 107.9 HD2 FM.
We're also on social media. You can like our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page, follow us on X and Instagram at Fox 5 Atlanta, and subscribe to our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel. And please join us for your news at noon, followed by Portia at 1. Have a great Thursday, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Or TikTok as well. Make sure you drop any thoughts you have or questions you have in the comments, and we'll try to get to those as we go along. But we want to begin with a really disturbing story out of Dunwoody. That's where an investigation is underway right now. Skeletal remains were found right near Perimeter Mall. This was in the woods near Perimeter Center Parkway. And our Kim Leffler has been on top of this story for us all morning. She's joining us near where those remains were found. So certainly a concerning situation here, Kim. What do we know about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Elise. Well, that discovery was made Wednesday afternoon just beyond the fence that you see here behind me. There's a construction site in that area. This is right along Perimeter Center Parkway, and we have some video of the moment that police discovered these skeletal remains. Police say a surveyor was surveying the lot here and went to the wood line and found the human remains. Investigators believe the remains belong to a middle-aged man, but for now, his identity is unknown. Police are now working with the medical examiner's office to determine who this man is. We did speak with people who live and work in this area, and they tell us the discovery was very alarming. Take a listen.
I used to walk this path every single day to get to work, early mornings, late nights, and hearing that there's human remains there, that is very concerning.
There was no ID found or anything like that on scene. There were clothes left behind, but just general casual clothes.
Police say right now it's too early to determine exactly how long the remains had been here in this wooded area, and police are also trying to figure out exactly what happened. So still a lot of questions here, but certainly very concerning, as you mentioned, in such a busy area here right near Perimeter Mall. Elise.
A lot of questions remain. Kim, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on what's happening there from Dunwoody. We appreciate that. All right, turning our attention now to something that a lot of folks were talking about, seeing, calling in, making comments about this. Right now, there's an investigation that's underway into 2 tractor trailers that caught fire. The smoke could be seen for miles. So our Billy Heath is joining us with the latest on what's going on and where this is all happening. Billy, what's the latest here?
Hey, good morning, Elise. So yeah, I was one of those people. I was driving towards Atlanta on the interstate. I looked over and I saw that huge smoke plume. And you know, my first thought, and a lot of our viewers, a lot of people in Metro Atlanta will know, is sometimes the airport, they do some testing, they do some drills, and often that involves smoke, and they'll send out an alert saying, hey, we're doing some testing, don't be concerned about smoke. So I called our assignment desk and we hadn't heard anything. So I was like, I have about an hour before my next assignment. I can go ahead and cruise over here and take a look. When I got here, fire trucks started flying past me. I knew this was not a drill. This was a real fire, real working fire. I got as close as I could. Of course, police were doing their what they have to do. They were keeping me back, so I couldn't really get a good angle on it. But what I did do is I was able to launch Skyfox drone, and at least I believe we have that drone video. You could let me know if you're seeing that. But with the drone. Oh, awesome. Fantastic. So, yeah, it's one of those circumstances where the drone was really the only tool where I could get a good view of what was actually going on. And what you see there are those 2 charred semi-truck cabs, it looks like. So, you know, a lot of the times those are full of chemicals, full of oil, combustible liquids. So, of course, when those caught fire, that probably answers the question of where that big smoke plume came from. We did hear from East Point Fire Department, and very thankfully there are no injuries as a result of this fire, but obviously for this business a loss of 2 of their vehicles, a lot of smoke, and a lot initial chaos here at the scene. What I can do, Elise, is I can quickly step behind the camera and give you a look of what's taking place now. You can still see East Point Police is on soon, so I'll step behind the camera real quick, and as I zoom in you'll see what's going on here. It looks like they're just sort of wrapping up their work. When I had that drone over the 2 charred semi trucks, it looks like they had put out the fire and they were just working on hot spots. So still a pretty active scene out here, but thankfully, you know, those calls about the smoke should stop coming in because they've pretty much got it under control. Elise, back to you, and any questions you have, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, Billy, give me an idea of where those tractor trailers are. I can see in your drone video, I mean, it obviously looks like they were parked. There were other trucks that were nearby them, but give me an idea of what that facility is, where this happened.
Sure, yeah. So Elise, where this East Point police vehicle is sort of where I pulled up to. So I was coming down this road and I got stopped at about right here. And as you can see, I mean, you can kind of see there's a warehouse there, but that's about it, unless you were to go past that police vehicle, which I was not able to do. So this is, you know, if you're at the airport, I was headed north toward Atlanta, not that far past the airport, because again, you know, when you're talking about drones and piloting drones, I thought I was honestly too close to the airport to fly a drone, but there was a very low ceiling that I could work with, about 100 feet. For the drone pilots out there, you know, you have a ceiling if you're close to the airport, so I could only take the drone up about 100 feet, but that was enough to see what was going on there. To answer your other question, Elise, I'm not sure what this particular business is. I haven't been able to kind of figure that out, but there are a very large number of semi-trucks at this facility, and it looks like there are a lot of like junkyards and things like that in the area too. So sort of an industrial area, but I'll definitely be working to learn more from East Point Fire and gather what I can here on the ground. But very fortunate that we were able to launch the drone and get that aerial view to paint a clear picture of what's happening.
Billy, we appreciate you seeing it, your quick action, jumping in and grabbing the drone and giving us that look as well. So we appreciate you filling us in on what's happening there at East Point. Billy, thank you so much as always.
Thank you.
Wonderful job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Our time now is 11:06. We're going to turn our attention now to a story. I got to tell you, this is the shocker. If you're not familiar with what happened here, a man accused of beheading a dog on the front porch of his Fulton County home on Wednesday has been arrested. This happened after an hours-long standoff. So he's due in court at this hour for a very first appearance in front of a judge. We'll let you know if and when that happens. But Jalen Wade is who we're talking about. Was charged with aggravated cruelty to animals, felony obstruction, 2 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. So according to the Fulton County Police Department, Wade was taken into custody at about 8:30 on Wednesday. This is after he spent 3 hours barricaded inside of that home that you see on your screen right there. It's located on Illinois Avenue, and that's near the intersection of Joseph E. Boone Boulevard. So neighbors called 911 at about 2:30 after witnessing the beheading there on the front porch. When officers got there, they found a dead dog lying near the scene. Wade then refused to come to the door, so that's when investigators got a search warrant. Attempts to serve that warrant failed, and that's what prompted SWAT to be called in to assist with all of this. So again, a 3-hour standoff ensued. SWAT units successfully took Wade into custody. That's his mugshot that was released today. Police reported no injuries during the arrest, but Wade was a renter of this home. So we spoke with the landlord of the home where he was living and listen to what he told us.
Just walk me through. I mean, you walked through the house. I mean, what's it been like today?
Well, when I walked through, I saw several voodoo signs on the wall. The house was in disrepair, paint all on the wall as if someone was doing some type of voodoo. I'm not sure. The windows were knocked out, and it was just in disrepair.
Tell us how your relationship with Jalen, how long you've been renting to him.
Well, Jalen Wade, he's a tenant of mine, and I've been renting to him for about 3 years. And this has never happened. He's always been a respectful guy, so this is kind of surprising to me.
I mean, when you first heard that something was going on at the house, what was going through your mind? And you, I assume, reached out to him.
Yeah, I reached out to him several times. He finally called me back, and the neighbors called me and alerted me to the fact that I believe some of the neighbors found a dog beheaded, and she wanted to contact me and let me know. She said the police had been there since somewhere around 2 or 3, so she contacted me around 4.
So were you on the phone with him at any point during all of this today?
I spoke to him on and off about 10 times. And he kept telling me he was in a different place, but lo and behold, he was inside the house, inside of a box, hiding.
And what was he telling you? What did the state of his mind seem like at that point?
It seemed a little off. I kept asking him, did he have some type of mental issue going on, so that I could be a lot more patient with him, because the police are there right now tearing down all of the doors, busting out all of the windows, and he needed to let me know. And he stated to me that he went to Georgia State, and so he seemed kind of off. It didn't seem like he was there.
But he told you he was in Buckhead?
He told me initially that he was in Buckhead, and I kept telling him to come down to the house and talk to the officers, because they're about to tear the house apart. And he just kept saying that he was cooking for his girlfriend, and to have the police call him and to come to Buckhead. And I said, that's not how it works. They're there right now at the house. It's about 15 people there, so you need to get there ASAP.
And even as tear gas was coming in, you said you were on the phone with him, supposedly?
As tear gas was, as they were shooting tear gas inside of the house, I was on the phone with the neighbor. He was talking to me. I was talking to both people simultaneously. And he told me he was in Buckhead. Then I heard a loud bang. So that was the tear gas. And he kept talking to me for another 3 or 4 minutes. He said his phone was about to die.
What did he tell you, if anything, about the dog that was beheaded on the porch?
He told me that several people didn't like him, and that he came home at night and he saw the dog beheaded, and he wasn't sure who did it, but and I asked him, I said, well, why didn't you call the cops? Why didn't you call somebody to let him know? And he never did respond. He just kept going back to, I don't know, I could have called, but I didn't. So again, he seemed like he was kind of out of it.
Yeah, I got 2 last questions for you. I mean, you said there's voodoo stuff on the wall.
Yes.
I mean, obvious question, but I mean, do you think this was some sort of weird voodoo ritual thing that happened here?
It seems like it probably was, because there's no blood anywhere in the house. The neighbor said there was no blood when the cops showed her the animal when it was dismembered. There was no blood anywhere. So it's almost as if he drained the dog of blood. Yeah, this is the first time. And I own several houses in this neighborhood, and this is the first time ever. I've been in real estate for 20 years, and this is the first time this has ever happened. So I'm kind of in shock. Had to board up the house, so nobody wouldn't take anything out. I don't know if the officers are finished with their investigation, but it's kind of a shock to me. This has never happened to me in 20 years.
I mean, you seem like a good landlord. You were checking on him throughout the whole time. You wanted to see what he needed. What's going through your mind right now? I'm sure talking to all of us is the last way you imagined your day would end.
Right. Well, he was about 6 months behind in rent, so I was really trying to help him out with this economy the way it is, and I don't know. It seems like he was out of it. He was a very respectful guy, but it just seemed as though he was out of it. Like I couldn't. I was asking him, was he having any mental issues? And he kept telling me he went to Georgia State and played football. And I kept saying, hey, man, I understand, but are you okay? Because I really wasn't worried. The house can be fixed. So I was really worried about his state. I didn't know if any bodies were in there. I didn't know if kids were in there. I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was I had neighbors call me and tell me I need to get here because something strange is happening.
Was he renting by himself?
Yes.
It sounds like his mental capacity kind of declined from when you first met him 3 years ago.
Yeah, was it like episodes, or was it like it just kind of happened one day, or was gradual? Because 6 months, I'm sure you were hitting him up a lot for rent.
Yeah, well, it seems he talked the same, but it did seem as though while I was talking to him today, it seemed like something mental was going on with him. That's why I kept asking him, are you okay? Is anything mentally wrong with you? Did something happen to you? And he just kept saying, I'm in Buckhead. Tell him to come see me in Buckhead. I'll be right here waiting on him. And it wasn't like a come see me, I'm bad type of guy. It was just, I'm here in Buckhead. He was real calm about it. So this is the first time, really, other than him owing me rent and, paying sporadically. Like I said, I try to help all my tenants out. But other than him paying sporadically, I really didn't see anything wrong with him.
Listening to the landlord talking there. If you're just joining us, and I'm seeing on TikTok a lot of you asking who he's talking about because you're maybe just joining us here. We're talking about Jalen Wade. He is the man that's accused of beheading a dog on the front porch of this home in Northwest Atlanta. This happened on Wednesday. There was a 3-hour standoff that ensued. That's who you're looking at right there. That mugshot was released today. So he's in the Fulton County Jail, scheduled to have a first court appearance sometime this morning. So we'll keep you updated on what's happening there. But like I mentioned, we were hearing just a moment ago from the landlord, but we also had a chance to speak with a neighbor who said that hearing the news of what happened actually hurt her heart. So let's listen to what she told us.
Someone told me that a dog's head got cut off at the house up there on the corner. And I know that dog. I've seen that dog before. It's a little dog about this high, and it lives in the fence right there. And someone said that somebody cut his head off.
Oh, wow. So just what have you seen around here tonight, just in terms of police activity? What have you heard?
I've just seen a lot of police, and that's about it. We just got back, and I see the animal service. The rumors that I heard were true. It's true, I guess, because they're here. And I hate that, because the little dog used to bark at me when I used to walk to the store right here in the corner. So,
do you know the owner of that dog?
No, I don't know him. No, I've only seen one person there, and they said they had like 3 dogs or something, but I've only seen one, and it's a little, like I said, about this high, white and brown.
What do you make of the news of a head of a dog possibly getting cut off?
I am so upset. My daughter owns her own pet grooming company. She lives in Marietta. And we always had a dog. It hurts my heart. I can't believe someone would do something like that. So.
And I mean, what's it like to have all this going on in your neighborhood? I know this is a really quiet area of Grove Park. You know, everyone keeps to themselves. What's just, if you could describe the scene out here right now?
Amazing. I've never seen anything like it before. I've seen it on the news before at somebody else's neighborhood or around somebody else's house. I've never seen this before. Live.
Yeah. But like you said, you seen the dog around, but you haven't seen the person who owns it.
No, I've never seen the person who owns it. And like I said, it lives outside in a house. He has his own house in the front yard. So,
sorry.
Okay, go. No.
Could you tell if the dog was well cared for? Was he irritated?
Mean, nice, barky.
He was barky.
Barky, yeah. but he didn't seem like too skinny or like malnourished or like abandoned or anything. Anything else here that you just wanted to mention just about what's going on? I know it's kind of shocking and a little scary to hear about all this.
No, I just can't believe what I'm hearing. I can't believe it. Yeah. I can't believe that somebody would do that to that dog. So something has to be wrong. I don't know. I don't know if somebody else, somebody that knew someone. Well, once they do all the investigation, I guess it'll be all right. It'll be okay, because I can't imagine that man that owned that house cut that dog head off, because it looked like it was fine. It's just like the bark if you didn't know who you were.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Just one more question. And did you see one person with the dog at the same person with the dog, or was it different people with the dog?
I've only seen one person with the dog. Briefly. One day when I was walking to the store, and he came around the corner of the house. That's all I saw. But somebody said that multiple people were living in that house. I'm sorry, I'm about to fall down the hill.
Oh, yeah, no, you're good, yeah.
But they said multiple people were living in the house, but I don't know. I've only seen one person, and I've seen one dog. But they said it was some more dogs in there. So I don't really know. I only know that one dog And I hope that wasn't the one whose head got cut off. I hope neither, all of them.
A neighbor to see what happened, just to know some of the backstory there, and honestly just tough to hear the details of this case. This is just awful. So here's what we still don't know about the situation. Fulton County police have not released information regarding a possible motive, why on earth something like this would happen, or if Wade has a history of mental health concerns or prior animal cruelty complaints. So again, that's what we don't know in this situation right now. Authorities also haven't confirmed whether the dog that was beheaded belonged to Wade, or if it was a neighbor's pet or maybe a stray. So just the details on that. So Wade here faces 2 counts of firearm possession during the commission of a felony. Police have not specified where those shots were fired or if the weapons were used to threaten neighbors or possibly responding officers during that 3-hour standoff. It's also not known at this point if police had been called out to this home on Illinois Avenue for domestic or noise complaints prior to Wednesday. But it's a story. It's captured a lot of attention. You can understand why, if you're talking about standoff, voodoo, a dog being beheaded happening here in the city of Atlanta. So we will stay on top of this and be sure to bring you the very latest on this really disturbing situation there. All right, our time now is 11:20. So this Sunday is the Daytona 500. We're going to head there for a live look in just a few minutes. Also, we're talking about World Cup travel and how to maximize your points if you're wanting to maybe book a trip to watch a match or two. So that's all ahead. Is 11:23 now. So thousands of fans are shifting into high gear ahead of NASCAR season. This Sunday, a sellout crowd will fill Daytona International Speedway. We're talking about the great American race, the Daytona 500. So Fox's Chelsea Torres is joining us live from there. Let's get into it. Sunday, just a few days out, Chelsea. So good morning to you. What does it take to put on a race of this caliber, this size?
Yeah, well, you can already hear those are actually fans right now, Elise, that are in those cars, really getting the full experience while they're here in Daytona. And we know that Daytona 500 is not just a one single sprint, but it truly is a full-on marathon, not just for the dozens of teams that are racing, but also for the operations crew that really have to stage the greatest spectacle in racing.
there are things that they have been building and working on for a year, right? Since the day after the Daytona 500 last year, there's about 125 full-time employees that just focus on the racing facility itself, from all of the suites, the grandstands, into the infield.
Experts manicure the pavement daily, and the steep 31-degree banks are designed to keep drivers pushing the gas pedal. But beyond the asphalt itself, Daytona's got doctors, firefighters, an aviation wing, and even meteorologists here on site. Everything is in place, so fans really only have to worry about the finish line.
Started getting that excitement. Oh man, we're going to Daytona again. And even though you've done it 8 times, it's always exciting to take off and do it again.
We picked right back up where we were this time last year. You spend 4, 5, 6 days together,
and around here you never meet a stranger.
Yes.
You spend all winter long watching football, and then NASCAR comes back to town, and it's race season again.
And every single fan that we've talked to has the exact same sentiments. For the 11th year in a row, Daytona 500 has sold out. So you're going to see more than 100,000 fans here in and around the super speedway. Not only that, but Daytona 500 also hit history with the biggest purse that they've ever had. So the winner will win well over $31 million. Elise.
Amazing. Okay, Chelsea, so I'm always told that NASCAR is one of those things where it's cool to watch on TV. It's amazing and it's fun to tune in that way. But being there in person and feeling the vibrations from the track and hearing those engines roaring, I mean, what is that like?
It's definitely a different experience that I've never had before. I think what I've been more surprised of is just how everybody here, you heard that one fan say nobody's a stranger. Everybody truly is family here. And that's not only just what you see on the track itself with a lot of the drivers as they're practicing with their crews, but even in the garages, you get to go around and see a lot of these crews working on the cars, working on those race cars that you'll see on the track on Sunday. But not only that, you have all the fans in and around the entire area with their RVs, with their families, their friends, some people that they've met just years ago, and now they plan to come here every single year together. So it truly is one of the greatest experiences that I've already experienced, but so many people say if you've never been to a Daytona 500 event, you have to come because it truly is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yeah, certainly seems like it. This is exciting. Fox's Chelsea Torres live for us at Daytona International Speedway. Chelsea, thank you so much for getting us excited and prepared for Sunday. All right, our time now is 11:26. We're going to stay on the theme of sports, at least, talking about the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It's right around the corner. Match schedules are live. Ticket windows are opening up, and fans are already seeing a massive spike in travel cost, of course. So we're talking about, surging hotel rates, transportation host cities trying to navigate all of that. And it's becoming a logistical nightmare for many who are attempting to attend some of these matches. So here to talk about it a little bit more with us, we have Becky Blaine, a travel expert at The Points Guy. And Becky, thank you for being on the stream with us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes. Okay, so let's get into this. A little bit of help for folks who are planning to do a bit of travel this summer to make it to one of the host cities. Where should fans stay using points instead of cash? And how can they think maybe beyond the hotels inside host city limits?
I think it depends on the city. So I would say, depending on what the points hotels are available to you, looking at Atlanta, if you've got Hyatts, they're known for having some of the lowest redemption rates in the awards space. So Category 1 Hyatt starts at 3,500 points per night. That is a really great option if you've got Hyatt points or can transfer them maybe from your Chase card if you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred or something like that. Other properties, Hilton's, Marriott's, usually run a little more expensive on some of the points redemptions, depending on which category level hotel it is that you're looking at. But always look at the cash rates and the points rates to see what might be the better option for you there.
Okay, so we're going to switch gears, Becky, and talk about getting to the match. I imagine this is one of those times when trying to take a look at, public transportation, ride-share apps, that could end up being your best bet when it comes to actually getting to where you need to go.
Sorry, I think I'm having some internet issues.
Well, what'd you hear? I was asking about getting to the match, maybe prioritizing ride share and public transportation over trying to drive. Would that be a good game plan?
Public transportation is always a great game plan. You know, we've used it in multiple cities when we've gone for events, especially things like Taylor Swift concert, something like that. You want to be able to get on mass transportation and avoid being dependent upon parking, a car, or ride share and worried about where the pickup is and things like that. So always public transportation would be the way to go.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. So what are your top booking tips? Like maybe, I don't know, flexible timelines if you can, refundable rates where prices are fluctuating. Any tips you can give us?
Yeah, so I always like to look at Google Flights, see what my flight options are if I'm going to fly, and then set some alerts for different dates and see what Google pulls as far as like availability and rates. There's a great plugin called Points Path, and you can download that on your Google Chrome browser, and that will show you what the award rates are for those same flights. So you can see a cash price and a points price as well. And so that's really helpful if you're looking to use those points and miles for travel.
Okay, so finally, if you got maybe some additional ways that fans can save on some of those smaller expenses, maybe free hotel perks, skipping stadium snacks, that kind of thing, just some insider info to help us save a little bit of money in those ways, Becky.
Oh, absolutely. So anytime we're staying in hotels, like leveraging those credit card perks, and if you get free breakfast, make sure you're taking advantage of it. Some of these credit cards offer status with some of the hotel chains as well, like a Hilton, a Marriott, things like that. So you'll be able to, use that for like evening hors d'oeuvres or the free breakfast. And then when you're out and about, eat like a local. Go to some of the hottest local places. Don't go to some of the other places that might just be very touristy and, chain type restaurants. Go to where the locals are going to go. Maybe go, closer to where you're staying if you're a little bit further out of town too, to avoid some of the crowds.
Okay, Becky.
Always, thepointsguy.com is full of travel information and ways that you can save using credit cards, points and miles, and other ways that you can, be smart about how you travel.
We appreciate the help today. Becky Blaine, travel expert at The Points Guy. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks.
All right. Our time now is 11:31, and we're going to turn our attention to the story that all of us are following at this point, talking about Nancy Guthrie still missing. Some new information coming out. It looks like investigators released a man who was detained for questioning. He wound up not being connected to Nancy's disappearance. But Fox's Caroline Elliott is on the ground once again for us in Tucson, Arizona, just to talk about what we know at this point on this Thursday. So Caroline, good morning to you. Let's start by talking about that black glove that we've been hearing about that's been found. What do we know about that?
Yeah, Elise, so we now know that investigators found a black glove about a mile away from Nancy Guthrie's front door. And again, we know this was found yesterday, and we're hearing this could be the next big break in this case, but it's unclear exactly if this is connected. We know that investigators are going to be working on DNA analysis, trying to pull any kind of information they can get from this glove, but at this point, it's just still unclear if it is connected. We know from that surveillance video that was pushed out by the FBI earlier this week that person in that surveillance video appeared to be wearing black gloves. So again, this could be connected, maybe it couldn't be, but we're still just waiting on investigators to do that thorough analysis, which could take some time. Elise.
About the latest letter, that new letter that was sent to TMZ.
Yeah, Elise. So we know that TMZ received a third letter yesterday, and TMZ's founder, Harvey Levin, described it as someone who claimed that they knew who the kidnapper was in this case. They were saying that they would give up that information if they would send 1 Bitcoin. And they also said that they'd made multiple attempts at this point to reach the Guthrie family, but they were unsuccessful in those attempts. So again, unclear if this letter was legit. We know that authorities have not said whether or not they thought the letter was authentic or any of the ransom notes for that matter, Elise, but we do know the family taking all of this very seriously as it's now been 12 days since Nancy Guthrie disappeared.
All right, Caroline, one more question before we let you go. Give us an idea of what's happening there around you. Looks like, just a moment ago, there was a guy kind of over your shoulder there, but like what's happening on the scene at this point right now?
Yeah, Elise. So it has been a lot of developments in the last 24 hours here. But what we can tell you is that investigators put up a white tent in front of Nancy Guthrie's home, and it was up about 90 minutes. Now we do know that that tent was removed in the last 20 minutes here, but in the last couple minutes we just got new insight into what investigators could have been doing inside that home. So I'm just going to read straight from these notes from a producer out here that said that a well-known FBI expert on video, imagery, and physical science was seen carrying video forensics equipment into the tent and also pictured with what looked like a measuring stick. So again, we don't know what investigators were doing with that measuring stick, but we can assume from what investigators have told us that they're still trying to figure out the approximate height and weight from the person that was seen in that surveillance video. That could be what investigators are doing right now. We just really don't know. Elise, we will also tell you one more thing. Again, we have seen multiple searches in this area in the last 24 hours, but we also saw a search happening overnight at 2 a.m. local time. We saw crews out there with flashlights and cameras taking photos of the area that was about half a mile away from where that black glove was found yesterday. So again, a lot of developments here, a lot to break down, but investigators are now working through thousands of tips that are now coming in. Elise.
Staying on top of this force, keeping us updated from the ground there in Tucson, Arizona. Fox's Caroline Elliott. Caroline, thank you so much for checking in with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to stay on this particular topic. In light of the ongoing reporting around the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, there's been a lot of conversation about home security, some gaps that we're possibly here in this situation, and just how to make sure that things are shored up at your own home. So here to talk a bit more about it for us is Rob Gabriel. He's a home security expert at homesafe.org. So Rob, very timely. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, let's dive into this. What should homeowners be checking right now just to make sure their camera settings are what they need to be?
Yeah, homeowners and renters alike need to check that they have a monitoring subscription set up. So they're paying that $5 a month for monitoring. That ensures that their footage is being stored in the cloud and it's retrievable that way. I don't think a lot of people have that set up and they think that their camera is catching everything, and it's probably not. From there, I would say motion zones, get those optimized. So when someone approaches your front door, that recording is detected and you can adjust those motion zones and really fine tune those for your property's needs. Test night quality vision as well. So at dusk and in full darkness, make sure that you're getting that crystal clear image quality. That resolution is really important for police. And then of course, just spend some time in the app just to familiarize yourself with it, and you'll find new features in there. And yeah, just make sure that you know your system, your camera system, and how to use it.
Now, I'm really glad you started out by talking about the subscriptions, because that was part of the holdup in getting this footage into the hands of investigators. Is there was something that wasn't, they weren't paying for the subscription or something like that. So what do we need to know when it comes to that? I mean, are there certain camera systems? Which ones require you to have a subscription in order to save footage?
Basically, most of the home security cameras on the market today do require that subscription. So the video recordings are kind of kept behind a paywall, which is unfortunate. But again, it's affordable enough, $5 for one device typically, and then $10 a month for multiple devices. If you don't have a subscription plan set up, you can save your video footage locally. And so that would be saved on like a mini SD card, either in the device itself, or that can be stored in the home somewhere on like a home base or a hub.
So Rob, a big concern here as well is your camera being hacked or disabled. So what are some things that we can do to try to secure that, keep that from happening?
Passwords are, of course, strong passwords are always very important. I would say that's your first step. If you're really concerned about your camera being hacked and like your footage being seen, I would store that footage locally on a micro SD card. That's really important. And then also another concern, you can actually get your cameras hardwired into your home, which I also recommend. Wireless cameras often, they run out of batteries, or that footage can be hacked via Wi-Fi. So wired cameras that are wired into the home, they go down a lot less frequently. You don't have to worry about changing out batteries all the time and climbing on ladders and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. So, you mentioned something about being able to store this if there's not, a subscription-based cloud storage, or if that's not the route you want to go. So let's talk about that, affordable alternatives to the subscription route.
Yeah, so if you don't want to subscribe to that monthly monitoring, really your only other option is to store that video locally using that micro SD card or some sort of an NVR setup in your home. You will also have access, of course, without the monitoring subscription, to the live feed in the app. So you'll be able to log on and see what's happening in real time out the front door. But again, you're not getting that recording, which is really important if you want to bring, like a burglar to justice, or, even get your packages back after a porch pirate targets your home.
Now, Rob, I'm looking in the comments right now on TikTok, and there's a lot of people who are weighing in on this. They're asking questions and just kind of, sharing their thoughts on what happened. So is there a place that you recommend folks go for more information on just making sure that their home security system is set up the way it needs to be?
Yes, I would go straight to safehome.org. We have a lot of product reviews there, some best roundups. We also do a lot of research in the home security space, so you'll find the latest and greatest information at safehome.org. Tons of resources for everybody, and we're there to keep you safe. And I think it's really important for families that they kind of lock in on this, at least take care of the low-hanging fruit, and then after that, don't live paranoid, right? Once you have these basic precautionary measures in place, go on about your life, okay?
And there we go. Some advice from Rob Gabriel with homesafe.org. Rob, thank you so much for your time and your help today. We appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Our time is 11:41, and we're back with more right after this. We are in Noonan now. That's where a historic black neighborhood in the downtown area there is set to receive a long overdue revival. So our Chris Rosenthal is joining us live there with a look around and with more on what's happening. Hey, Chris, good morning.
District here in Noonan, a very historic African-American neighborhood here. Back in October, it was one of a batch of areas and properties that got listed to the Georgia Historic Registry, but now there's a new special recognition that this area has, and I'm joined by Chris Cole. He is with the city of Noonan, and tell me, what's the latest update here?
Yeah, so we got some good news recently. As of January 29th, Chalk Level is now part of the National Register of Historic Places.
So you've gone from state to now national.
That's correct.
Register. So really significant. We're going to talk a little bit about the significance. I mean, this right here is kind of where it all starts. Tell me about this.
Right. So this is the earliest building that we've had built in Chalk Level, built in 1877. The Noonan Chapel United Methodist Church. And as you can see, the architecture is just stunning. In our period of significance, we started at 1877 when this church was built and went through 1970 when segregation ended in schools here in Noonan.
Wow, and we'll walk over here too. I mean, this is, what's unique here is this is not just, we think of these historic registries as being a building, but this is an entire neighborhood here.
It is. We're kind of at the edge of Chalk Level here, but as you can see as you pan that way, tons of historic resources, homes, churches, old school sites, parks, cemeteries. All this comprises Chalk Level, and we're just proud that the efforts of all the citizens through the years who have lived here, who have played here, who have worked here, are taking hold as far as the National Register nomination. We're very proud of this.
And this had to be a very self-sufficient area.
That's correct.
Following slavery, and it had some of significance in the medical field. I'm talking about that.
Oh, sure. Dr. Henry Jordan was a pioneer. He lived here on Pinson Street, right down the road from where we are. Not only did he have an office, he had a hospital next to his home. Very famous doctor in this area. Nurses were here in Chalk Level in the 1800s, helping people, midwives. The medical history and tradition here in Chalk Level is very important to our application. And of course, the reviewers agreed as well.
Yeah, and one of the other significant areas, and it's so big, I wish I could walk it all here, but on the other side there is a cemetery.
That's correct.
And you've had some new discoveries there, huh?
Yeah, so we have the Farmer Street Cemetery. It's not congruent with or adjacent to this district, but we brought it in as an extraterritorial addition because of the importance of the site to African Americans through the years. There is one tombstone that has been discovered there, but we do know many burials happen there with ground-penetrating radar studies we have done. Over 400, we believe, burial sites. So we're now working to preserve the cemetery going forward.
Wow, so just so much history here and so much to get through. And I'll be here through the day talking more about some of those sites and visiting the cemetery and some other areas. Chris Cole, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, pretty fascinating what they're doing and the future of the area while looking to the past. So, Chris, thank you so much for being live there and giving us a look around. We appreciate that. And turning our attention now to a career expo. We're talking 350 metro area high school students will have a chance to check out the Atlanta College and Career Expo. There's going to be some big names that are out there. We also have our Eli Jordan there, who's joining us with a look around and more on what's happening. Hey, Eli.
Hey, good morning, Elise. Yeah, I'm the big name. But they are going to have some big names out here. They got 350 juniors and seniors from around the Atlanta metro area, and they're all broken off into workshops, and they're going through a change now, a workshop change. So we're going to have some action going on behind us. But right now, this is being brought to us by Future Successors in Georgia Tech, and Future Successors founder Nikki Watson is with me. Hey, Nikki, how's it going?
It's going.
So tell me, what all is going on here today, and what do you hope these kids will come away with?
So basically, it's
our career and college expo that we do every year here at Georgia Tech. We did it for over past 8 years, and we have done it in the past 6 years here at Georgia Tech. And basically, we have so many businesses set up. We have the Atlanta Hawks. We have Delta Community Credit. We have so many businesses that the kids probably don't know about right now when they're in high school. So basically, we give them that sauce, right? Because you know, and AJC Chronicle had said that 60% of kids know what they want to do after after high school, but only 40% doesn't. So right now, we want to make sure that 40% is aware of what they want to do after high school.
And also, too, what's really neat is you're making sure all these kids are getting their headshots made, right?
Get headshots, because headshots is so needed out there, because it tells a lot about you and how professional you are when you want to go in those business settings. So yes, we've given them some sauce, like we said, before they go out there in the real world, and we're ready to prepare them.
And there's some big corporations here. We got Google, we got Apple, Siemens, and things like that.
We have Siemens.
And we also got some big names here too. I guess. We
had Ryan Wilson from the Gathering Spot. He was the keynote speaker, and he was just telling them, take advantage of the people in the room and tell people hi, the people to the left, to the right of you, because you never know where you can be in 10 years, and you'll come back and say, hey, you was at that youth expo. We learned such and such and such. We connected with a lot of people. So basically, take advantage of that moment, because that door is open for you, and you want more doors to open for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nikki Watson, of Future Successors. And Elise, this is what's going on here today. Future Successors coming, hopefully meeting some of their future employees, because these are some good jobs going on out here that these kids are being introduced to here at Georgia Tech. Elise?
Absolutely. Good to see. Okay, I need you to step back in front for just a second, Eli. I'm going to give you just a moment to do that, because we need to see.
All right.
We see you, birthday boy. Happy birthday.
Oh, Lordy. Thank you very much. It beats alternative, that's for sure.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Of course. We hope you have a fantastic day, Eli. Happy birthday.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our time is 11:51 now. Turning our attention to this, February is National Children's Dental Health Month. It really is the perfect opportunity for parents to revisit their child's oral care and prioritize prevention. That's what this is all about. Tooth decay remains one of the most common chronic conditions among children, but early habits can make all the difference. So joining us live to talk a bit about it, we have Dr. Paul McConnell, National Dental Director for United Healthcare Dental. So a very important topic. Dr. McConnell, thanks for being on with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Hey, let's dive into this today. So what should parents be keeping in mind with regards to nutrition and dental health?
Absolutely. So what we need to remember is what we eat and drink plays a big role in our oral health. Those sugary snacks and drinks that we eat feed the bacteria that can erode the enamel and lead to cavities. So limiting sugar and encouraging plenty of water helps rinse away food particles, dilute acids, and support healthy saliva flow. Make sure that we're adding nutrient-rich foods to our diets like fruits, vegetables, cheese, and yogurt. These types of things help provide calcium and vitamins that keep teeth and bones strong.
So it can make all the difference what they're drinking and what they're eating. So very important to keep in mind with that. Why is it so important to stay on top of oral health, especially for children? It can have some really far-reaching implications.
Oh, absolutely. Well, oral health is more than just a bright smile. It's an important part of a child's growth, development, and overall well-being. Unfortunately, tooth decay is the most common chronic disease among kids in the U.S., affecting nearly half of children aged 2 to 19. Unbelievably, about 1 in 10 children aged 2 to 5 experience untreated tooth decay, a number that nearly doubles by the age of 6 to 8. Surprisingly, emergency dental care causes children in the U.S. to miss approximately 34 million school hours annually. Additionally, baby teeth play an important role in a child's development, serving as the foundation for healthy permanent teeth and supporting speech and overall well-being. These good oral health habits and staying on top of dental checkups from an early age can help reduce the risk of developing cavities and other common conditions that affect their health.
So this is important. This really is. I mean, and we're talking, specifically right now, your message for parents and for guardians, just to try to help encourage good oral habits and to get these things to catch on at an early age. So do you have any tips for us? Just things to keep in mind to encourage this?
This can always be a hard thing, especially with kids. So the biggest thing is really to start young and as young as you can. So parents really should be supervising their child with brushing until about the age of 8 to make sure that they are brushing properly. But education around oral health can begin much earlier. So encourage brushing twice a day with an ADA-approved toothpaste and introduce flossing when those two teeth touch. This helps to teach children that cleaning between teeth is just as important as brushing. Parents can help make dental care fun by letting kids choose their own toothbrushes and their own favorite colors, turning brushing into a family activity, and singing songs or setting timers to help them stay engaged and focused.
What about routine dental care? This is something that folks might not know. How often should kids be visiting the dentist, and at what age is it a good time for their first visit?
Absolutely. Well, regular preventative dental care may help catch issues early on, helping reduce the risk of more serious and costly problems down the road. A child's first dental visit should be scheduled after that first tooth appears in the mouth, and definitely no later than the first birthday. After that, kids should see the dentist every 6 months, just like every other adult. For kids, untreated cavities can result in poor nutrition and potentially stunt their growth and development. Oral health has been linked to health conditions like diabetes and heart disease later in life, making it important to take advantage of preventative services at a young age. A lot of dental plans do cover preventative services such as exams, cleanings, x-rays, and sealants. So make sure to call the number on the back of your dental insurance card to find out what your specific plans do cover.
Okay, one more question before we let you get out of here. Fear of the dentist is common really at any age. It's adults, it's a kid. So do you have any advice just to help folks feel a little bit more at ease when they visit the dentist?
Absolutely. And unfortunately, dental fear and anxiety is quite common. About a third of young kids around the world do experience this. Regular visits to the dentist may help kids get more comfortable and make the experience more familiar. But if you're concerned your child may be anxious, talk with your dentist before your child's appointment. Dentists can guide parents on how to talk with their child about what to expect during a visit and how to answer any questions they may have. Using books or videos can also help kids feel more prepared and also a lot more confident.
All right, helping us out since February is, let's see here, National Children's Dental Health Month. So very good timing on this. Dr. Paul McConnell with United Healthcare Dental. Thank you so much for being on the stream with us today. We appreciate your insight and your help.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right. Our time now is 11:56. We have time to get to some headlines. No, we don't. All right. That will do it for us. Thank you so much for being with us here. We appreciate you tuning in. We've got more news and weather headed your way at noon. So we'll see you then. Take care.